Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever Beast Watch. Here on Beast Watch, I give you guys a recap of some of the latest and greatest episodes in superhero television. I'll be offering you some of my opinions and impressions on the episodes, and then we'll go over some of the flaws and maybe some of the best parts of the show. Spoiler warning! We will be talking about these episodes without discretion. I will fully disclose any information I see fit in order to get my point across. So, if you haven't seen the latest episode of your favorite show, maybe you want to go and check that out and then come on back here and check out this episode of Beast Watch. You have been warned. No complaints. With that said, today we're discussing Season 1 mid-season premiere, Episode 11 of Gotham, entitled Rogues Gallery. Leslie Tompkins and the inside of Arkham Asylum made their way to the screen during this mid-season premiere of Gotham. We also reunite with Gordon, working his new beat in Arkham Asylum. Gordon stumbles upon a case involving a number of inmates going kind of brain dead from the use of electroshock therapy of some kind. We're also reunited with a number of faces, including the likes of the Penguin, who gets put in prison by Don Maroney, only to teach him a lesson to consult the boss before acting out orders. Now, an interesting part about this right here is that Maroney orders a police officer to go ahead and let the Penguin out of jail after he feels like he's made his point to the Penguin. The Penguin's learned his lesson. So he orders a guard to go, and he just kind of is like, yo, you piece of junk, let this guy out. He's done. You hear me? Let him out. And the guy lets him out. So the only thing that I really took away from that is the sense of corruption in Gotham, and that criminals are overrunning this city, and the cops have kind of lost all control. Other than that, I kind of feel like this entire plot thread with the Penguin wouldn't have really been missed if it was left out altogether. We also find Fish still trying to assert her dominance over the crime lords of Gotham and still plotting on how she's going to take down Carmine Falcone. Her right-hand man, Butch, is seemingly attempting to backstab Fish for another crime lord of Gotham, who's also looking to take up Falcone's mantle in the city. Just when it seems like Butch is about to go all the way and backstab Fish, he shoots the crime lord in the face and proves his faith to Fish, which is well enough. Again, I don't really know if this is something we really need to spend all this time on. Fish's power struggle is a story that I'm quickly getting sick of. I just think it's time wasted that would have better been spent on the main crime at hand, which is all of the electroshock therapy victims in Arkham Asylum. Selena Kyle makes her way back to the screen this season as she aids a sick and freezing cold Ivy into the shelter of Gordon's apartment, where nobody is currently vacating the premises. That brings us to Barbara Gordon. We find her crashing at Detective Montoya's. She's clearly relapsed, she's using drugs, she's drinking again, and she claims she's done with Gordon, and she's kind of making out with Detective Montoya. So yeah, she's totally just gone backwards in her climb back to a normal life, and she's just totally relapsed. The detective dumps her just as she claims that she is over Gordon and is ready to move on this new life with her. And she says it's a big mistake, blah, blah, blah. They get into a little spat, and, Barbara's all salty because she gave up her life for this woman that she used to have a relationship with. Back to Arkham Asylum. One of the inmates named Jack Gruber, who is portrayed extremely well, was found to be the mastermind behind the entire shock therapy brain control situation, and I mention this next to last is because the show made almost no emphasis on what would have been the focus of the main story all along, or what should have been the main focus on the story all along, rather. Which is a real shame, because seeing this villain on screen, escaping Arkham at the end of the episode, it was the first time I really felt like I was in Gotham. The way the score eerily kind of played out as the madman narrated this psychotic letter he left behind for Gordon, it really just hit the nail on the head in terms of tone for Gotham City, and that's something I feel like this series could really use a little bit more of. I can't help but feel that we don't need to see the Penguin in every episode. We don't need to hear about Barbara Gordon's slow spiral down. They just need to focus up and stop kind of crowding this story with so many different characters. It's okay to focus on just a few characters per episode, Fox. I also don't know why this focus on Barbara seems to be so prominent. I don't think that's like something that a lot of viewers are really going to care about. Jim Gordon's wife is not, she's just not a key player in the Batman's upcoming. And I know this isn't really supposed to be about Batman, but clearly people are latching on to Batman, and that's what they want to see more of, is the relationship from Gordon and Batman as a young child. It's a new story, and I think that the focus is better left on that. I really like Gotham, and I'd love to see it grow and succeed, but the show is just getting uncomfortably bloated as it goes along, and Fox seems very eager to make the most out of all the characters in the Batman universe, but it's getting to be a little bit too much. Wayne Manor, Bruce, and Alfred were all left out on their own this week, which I love both the way the characters are both portrayed in this series, don't get me wrong, but they would have only made this week's episode way more complex and even more packed to the gills than it already is, and God knows they did not need that this week. So overall, I thought it was a decent start to the mid-season premiere. I like the show. I hope they kind of learn their lessons when this maybe it seems like this season is going to kind of continue this trend, but maybe by season 2, they'll fix their mistakes and kind of learn from it and listen to what the fans really want to see. So those are my overall impressions on the episode. Okay, not great, not terrible, a little bit crowded. What did you guys think of this episode of Gotham? How do you feel about the direction the story is going? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the Level Up Show's YouTube channel right here to catch a new episode of Beast Watch after each one of your favorite shows. Don't forget to follow the Level Up Show on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/thelevelupshow to catch our live show every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm the Beast NJ, everybody, and until next time, sit back, relax, and enjoy the shows.